to welcome everybody. I'm Mel Chaskin. I'm the chairman of the board of trustees for the Center for Excellence. Again, I'd like to welcome everybody. A little information about the center. You're watching up at the top, but in 1983, Apple Rickover and Joann got together and said, we have to do something in helping in the area of STEM. We're concerned on where we're going and the capability of students. And they looked at both from both the United States and also internationally. The Admiral was very concerned. We get involved with international students as well. And that was the formation of the Center for Excellence in Education and how it got started. Fortunate enough, we've now been in business for 40 years. We've been very successful. We've chance to talk to some of the alumni here and some of the people in the program and support from the staff. And also, we're very proud that we are advisors to the STEM Caucus here in the House. Just recently, this past year, the Caucus in Education in STEM started up again because they understand the problems in the United States and over in that area. And after talking with them, we're finding out what we do. They asked us to come to be advisors to them as to some programs that we can look into and run webcasts for them as well. So appreciate that. Appreciate everybody here coming here. Joann, would you please come up?
Thank you all for coming. I was going to say thank you, snow bunnies, but I'm so pleased the road's cleared because we did not want to cancel this event. And it's our first one as the official advisors to the Education and Workforce Committee of the House of Representatives. And we're so proud to have been named as an advisor. And we already are one of the biggest caucuses, and we intend to be the biggest this next year. I am so happy today to be able to introduce two people very special to the center. Congressman Neal Dunn has been a champion, boy, I don't know, it's like I'm dropping rocks. Has been a champion for the center for many years. He is representing the 2nd Congressional District of Florida. It is easy to say, he champions us, we champion him because he represents STEM. Neal Dunn is a surgeon in Panama City for over 25 years and in the U.S. Army for 10 years as well. He was the founding president of a large surgical practice and a subspecialty interest in advanced prostate cancer. He is currently on the House Energy and Commerce Committee, the oldest standing legislative committee of the House. The committee is responsible for energy policy, interstate and foreign commerce, telecommunications, consumer protection, food and drug safety, and other important issues. He as well is on the subcommittee on communications and technology, as well as the Parliament of NATO. So I am so happy that he took time to be with us, if you can get through without this. Thank you so much, Neal, for being with us.
Joann, thank you very much for that very kind introduction. It's been a real pleasure to work with the CEE over the years. I mean, this is a whole bunch of really bright people. I learn things here. I don't teach things. But it's actually one of the best parts of being in Congress is meeting all these incredible people, very epic people who've done things that are just amazing and think things that are amazing. And you all are emblematic of that. Really smart bunch of people doing some smart things, and so you stand out in Washington. I want to thank you all for joining us and emphasizing tonight the continued importance of STEM education in America. I'm very honored to serve as co-chair of the STEM Caucus and trustee of the Center for Excellence in Education. And of course, Joann is one of the founders. Thank you so much for doing that. And it really has made a lot of difference over the years. We got to continue to emphasize this. It's incredibly important. I do want to thank the prior Democrat co-chair, Mr. Auchincloss, who's now retired from that, and I also want to welcome his replacement, Ms. Rivas, who's a genuine engineer. How about that? Electrical engineer. And so she's going to be a great addition to your ranks, as well as I'll be proud to work with her. The center does tremendous work in preparing students to meet the growing needs of a STEM needy workforce, and everybody sees that in the news every day. I know it goes without saying that it's all about tech today, right? Everything's autonomous, everything's computing, everything's telecommunications. The CEE has been a crucial part to members on both sides of the aisle to improve education outcomes and encourage students to pursue STEM education, make it fun. The STEM Education Caucus collaborates in a very bipartisan fashion to prepare the United States for a future that continues to rely heavily on STEM, and will do so more in the future. I also sit on the China Select Committee, and I'm fully aware of our competition with China in the STEM space, and it's important that we maintain a competitive edge. Next generation of American leaders and entrepreneurs is vital to the future of the free world as well as America, and it's important that Congress takes an active role in encouraging students to pursue education and prepares them for a variety of careers in STEM. And that means make it fun. You can't bribe them into it. You can't cajole them into it. We got to make it fun. I always thought it was fun. I bet you did too. So thank you all. I bet most of this crowd here enjoys this science as much as they actually work at it. So that's fun. So once again, I just want to thank everybody for joining us this evening to advance the future of STEM in the United States and the free world. I look forward to working with you in the 119th Congress. Thank you so much, Joann. I appreciate you for having me.
It is a special day. Congressman Auchincloss has so many demands, and he said, Joann, would you mind if I have a suggestion for you of someone new to lead and help to grow the caucus? And with that, he said, Congresswoman Luz Rivas from California is the perfect candidate. And boy, is she ever. I just met her today, and golly, it's nice to have an electrical engineer and another MIT person associated with the center. She is an engineer, an educator, and a public servant who was just elected in 2025 to represent California's 29th Congressional District. She is formally the founder of DY Girls, a nonprofit organization dedicated to helping girls become interested in technology and engineering through experiences and mentorships. Through the program, she has helped thousands of young women to surge on a path toward economic empowerment, independence, and self-confidence. She attended MIT, where she graduated with a Bachelor of Science in Electrical Engineering. Her passion is to get kids interested in engineering, and that's why it led her to pursue and complete a Master of Education degree from Harvard. We couldn't have asked for someone better than this Congresswoman I'm proud to introduce. Thank you.
Good evening. First, thank you, Joann. Thank you to the Center for Excellence in Education for hosting us today. It's great to be joined by so many alumni of the programs. I see all the RSI and your year. A lot of you may have been at MIT for RSI. I'm very familiar with the program. I was not in RSI, but I remember the summers when I would hear about RSI students at MIT. So I'm Congresswoman Luz Rivas. I represent California's 29th Congressional District. That's in Los Angeles, in the San Fernando Valley. It's where I grew up. I went to elementary to high school there, and right after that, my first time on the East Coast was flying over to MIT to start my undergraduate education, where I studied electrical engineering, or Core 6. If some of you were at MIT, you remember all those numbers for our majors. But I want to start by thanking Congressman Auchincloss for his leadership. He was the previous co-chair of the Congressional STEM Education Caucus, and when I first talked to him, he's the one that told me, you would be perfect to be the co-chair, the Democratic co-chair for this caucus. When he told me about it, I'm like, I would love to do this. And so that's why I'm excited to be here. I look forward to working with Congressman Dunn to utilize our experiences as STEM professionals to strengthen the current and future STEM workforce and keep America competitive on the global stage. I was first exposed to STEM when I was in 5th grade in the 1980s, a long time ago. We didn't have cell phones, we didn't have computers and laptops at home like everybody does today. But my teacher, my elementary teacher, had an Apple IIe computer. I know I see some of you nodding your head, and some people may have never seen this before, but there was these computers that you had to type in commands. It just had a green cursor, and you had to program it, right? There was no games, there was no a mouse to control it. And she taught some of us how to program the computer as an extracurricular activity in my 5th grade class. I was 10 years old and programming, and I thought it was so much fun, and I became really good at it. And then my teacher said, you might want to consider this as a career, computer science. And I had no idea that that was a career. I had no idea that you could get paid to do this. And I was like, what? You can get paid to do this? This is what I want to do. And that kind of led me on a path from 5th grade to graduation from high school and then to MIT. And I know that a lot of early experiences are important in STEM. A lot of you that are in these fields probably got interested and you have your own story. And I'm just looking forward to being a Congress member, co-chair of this caucus to support that. What can the federal government do to make sure that we are preparing the STEM workforce of the future? And so I want to thank CEE for the partnership in this caucus. I look forward to learning from you and from Congressman Dunn on what we can do together to make sure that we are preparing and strengthening the STEM workforce for people that are working on future emergent technologies, artificial intelligence, addressing the climate crisis, researching cures to rare diseases, all the things that scientists and engineers do that I think as members of Congress and the federal government needs to support. So thank you again, CEE, for hosting us tonight, and I look forward to working with you on STEM education. Thank you.
Our mission is to nurture excellence in science and technology for high school and university students, and to encourage international collaboration between and among nations of the world. Every year, and this year at RSI, we will have 40 international students, 60 U.S., and all states of the U.S. have been represented. And we have had over 60 nations, I think, represented at RSI since we began the first program in 1984. We also, and there are like 3,000 alumni of that program. Several of you are here today, and it's so wonderful to have you. And then we sponsored the USA Biology Olympiad for over 10,000 students each year. and they've just taken exams in that program, and we look forward to having Team USA do very well again in the international arena. Kathy Frame, are you still here? Where is the international this year? Philippines? It is in the Philippines. I think we have a representative from the Philippines, or we did have, yes. So we're very excited about that. And Maite is here, Maite Ballestero, who's been with CEE over 30 years and really knows the RSI. And we can't thank her enough. She is, of course, my right hand. Our other two programs are the Teacher Enrichment Program to nurture teachers in their discipline, to provide the sort of training for students to broaden that pipeline for leadership in STEM. And our manager of the Teacher Enrichment Program, I think she is here. There she is, there she is. And our Lyceum program for underrepresented students, and Rebecca is here as well. So those are our programs, and we just became, of course, the advisor to the Caucus this past year, and we are so pleased to be able to help members of the Workforce and Education Caucus to know some unique issues of STEM and deepen their understanding of many of the STEM disciplines that we work with. Tonight, I am happy to announce to you, and it will go out by press release, that the USABO will be jointly sponsored. The new home will be Harvard University for the 2025 program. We're very happy. And we will be introducing a research science institute at the Indian Institute of Science in Bangalore for 35 students beginning this summer under the patronage and sponsored by the Adani Group in India. The Indian ambassador personally apologized to me that he couldn't be here since Mr. Modi is in town for 2 days. So I think that took precedence. I thought it might be very fine if you could hear from two of our alumni of the RSI who exemplify the quality of students that we take into the program each year. Many said for many years we should not base our selections on meritocracy, that we should not just have a program for top-achieving students in this nation and with other nations. Admiral Rickover and I felt very strongly that you should be able to help those who aren't as privileged and have opportunities, and those from the lower quartiles in the academics, as you can help top academic achievers. Those very few who, it used to be said, were 1 in 10,000 students. And certainly we have that caliber of student each year at the program, and they are leaders in industry, in academics, in organizations, and it is so exciting to work with them. We do it and we're able to maintain our quality and be reputed to be the most difficult STEM high school program in the country, because we have a very active board of trustees as well. And I think Corinne Nardi-Riddle, you are here. She is a champion for the program and was with Senator Lieberman as his chief of staff for many years, and we still give the Rayburn Award every 2 years to an outstanding alum of our programs. But today, I'd like to have comments from 2 of our alumni, and one is Ben Glass, who attended the program, has his own company, and indeed has his bachelor and master's degree in aerospace engineering, where from? MIT. So Ben is innovative, driven. He started his own company with experience in aerospace engineering and autonomous systems.
Firstly, huge privilege, huge honor to be asked to speak here. And really, when you emailed and asked me to share a few thoughts and kind of share my story of how I got from there to here, it was really an honor because RSI was truly a formative experience. And I think we've heard about it already today, but with everything going on in the world, strong STEM leadership is honestly more important than ever. So in addition to Ms. D and the entire CEE team, also just want to thank the Caucus for everything you guys are doing to support and encourage next generation of STEM leaders. So I was asked to, again, share a few thoughts on and kind of share the story of my journey of how I got here. And I guess it starts when I was born. So my dad was an Air Force pilot and an engineer. So I grew up flying with him, and I kind of started my informal engineering education when I was about 3 years old. But despite that, I ended up at a high school it was a great high school, but it was not known for science and math. Phenomenal jazz band, but really not a great STEM program. And from there, well, actually, one fun anecdote. So when I told them that I wanted to apply to MIT, the secretary in the counselor's office said, "Oh, that's the Michigan Institute of Technology, right?" So I came from a high school where I'm pretty certain I was the first student ever to even apply to MIT. But that being said, RSI was really sort of the first exposure I had to kind of rigorous science and technology. Incredible experience. I got to spend 6 weeks at MIT with a bunch of like-minded high school students, which, as we all know, is a euphemism for nerds. And I got to work with aerospace engineering faculty there to work on an idea that I had for a multi-stage radial inflow rocket engine. Which is a rising senior in high school. That was, it was an incredible thing to get to do. And from RSI, as Steve said, I went to MIT, continued studying aerospace engineering, and actually started a company that it came out of a free time project as I was going into grad school, really playing around with an idea for flying wind turbines. So, an aerospace engineer into renewable energy, that seems like the perfect problem just to play around with. And MIT is an incredible environment where crazy ideas are really encouraged, and you're encouraged to spin companies out. And that's just what we did. Through a bunch of twists and turns and pivots, we are now building the most reliable, cost-effective, persistent unmanned aerial systems in the world. We actually do quite a bit of work with the U.S. government on the border, on the DoD side. I actually had the opportunity, I think it was about 2.5 years ago, in this very building to stand with a congressman in the halls, and they were able to launch one of our systems remotely from halfway around the world from the halls of Congress, which was a pretty incredible experience. But that whole journey really did start with the pivot that I was able to take going through being part of the RSI program, getting the chance to sort of get a first taste at MIT, and I think that was quite pivotal in the journey that I ended up taking. So really indebted to everything that our side's doing. Super proud to see that it's continued to grow. I think I hear it's 100 students per year at MIT alone, which is incredible. So thank you for everything that you're doing and everybody else is doing. Thanks.
Our relationship with MIT is very close, but it's not that we are an appendage of MIT. We do love the school, though. My second speaker is someone very special who did her work out of Harvard and Berkeley. Jennifer Huffman did her BA magna cum laude with highest honors from Harvard in physics. She did her MA physics at Berkeley and her PhD in physics at Berkeley. She has so many academic honors that I couldn't even name all of them. And she has over 8,000 citations of her work and pages of publications. But I tell you, she is special because, as well as being so very fine as a professor of physics at Harvard, she is a wonderful mother to 3 children, and she married a fellow Rickoid. But Jenny also is known because she has records in the United States. She is a competitive long-distance runner who represented the USA in track and field and was national champion in 14, 15, and 18. She also was the world championship holder for a 24-hour run. Team USA with the gold medal. Jenny's not a slouch. She does a lot of things. And she's always helped the center with mentoring students during their summer research with the program the RSI held at MIT. And she's just an all-around terrific person that I'm so happy to introduce. I will not tell you about her field of physics. I don't understand the things she says about it. But I know it's terribly important, and it's wonderful to have a female physicist of this reputation. We're proud to have Jenny come speak to you all. Jenny?
Wow, thank you so much for that introduction. It's a little humbling. I'm like, who is that intimidating person? I don't know. Thank you so much. It's such an honor to be here and speak to this distinguished crowd of people. I'm going to put on my glasses. And as a teacher, I want to start with a question. How many of you have cell phones in your pockets? Right? Everyone, right? Everyone's got a cell phone in their pocket. So your phone communicates using the 5G network, using gigahertz electromagnetic waves, which permeate the space around us. And did you ever stop and wonder how those electromagnetic waves at the gigahertz turn into audible pressure waves that you can hear with your ears? So it turns out that in your phone, a key part of your phone is a material called lithium niobate. That's lithium niobium oxygen 3, whose atoms are arranged in a special way that can filter and interconvert 3 different types of signals: optical, electric, and acoustic. And in my lab at Harvard, I have a team of undergraduates and high school students from the local public high school who are studying the transmission of sound waves in lithium niobate. And they use electron beams to deposit nanoscale gold dots and wires in new configurations, which can more efficiently harness electromagnetic energy and steer sound waves. And this small team of hardworking students comes from Massachusetts and Arkansas and Texas and Italy and Palestine and Israel. And these students work together with friendly respect because they have shared curiosity and wonder about why things work and how we can make them better. So children are curious. I have 3 of them. Sometimes they're annoyingly curious with endless why questions. And at 16, I was fortunate, very fortunate, to attend the CEE's Research Science Institute at MIT, where I first had the chance to participate in a collaborative way, seeking not just to pester grown-ups for answers already known, but to ask and answer questions that no human had ever addressed before. So we lucky kids from all over the US and all over the world were pushing forward the boundary of collective human knowledge. And as many of you here know, because you're part of this community, the experience gave me a community of ambitious and curious friends and has empowered me to pursue my curiosity for the last 30 years. So I earned my PhD at University of California, came back to Harvard as a professor, and in my lab, over the last 20 years, I've advised over 30 PhD students and over 100 undergraduates from more than half of the states in the United States, from Hawaii to Florida to Maine, and over 20 countries, including Switzerland, Nigeria, Singapore, Romania. And most of these students have continued as science researchers and teachers in national laboratories, and industries, and universities. The CEE and MIT and Harvard have provided an environment to promote curiosity and to empower hard work and collaboration. And this opportunity is priceless. For each young student who is so empowered can impact hundreds of students to come. And the scientific answers and technology can impact millions and billions of humans for generations. And through the CEE program specifically, I've enabled research projects for some of the most curious and hardworking and accomplished students from countries including Australia, Brazil, and India, and states including Oklahoma, Missouri, and Virginia. So I'm driven by a moral imperative to better the world. I think we all are, through discovery and inspiration. And Mrs. D was kind enough to mention my running. I'm going to mention one more little crazy adventure that I had. Last year I took a short leave from my science job, bought a one-way ticket to California, and ran over 3,000 miles across the United States in a world record 48 days. So I set the world record between the Pacific and Atlantic Oceans. I ran 63 miles a day, wore through 11 pairs of shoes, ate over 300 eggs, and God knows how many Oreos. I crossed through 12 states and a mind-boggling 27 days of cornfields. Across America's deserts, mountains, and prairies, I saw over and over the extraordinary hard work and kindness of strangers. A cement factory worker in Utah who gave me his reflective safety vest, farmers from Nebraska to Ohio harvesting our food through the night to beat a storm, red states, blue states, whatever their yard signs, ordinary Americans were generous and industrious. And through the curiosity and work ethic that was nurtured at RSI, then powered my run across America and back into the laboratory again, I hope to inspire our children throughout America to push their own limits and the limits of human knowledge. So in this time that seems divided, programs and universities that support young people's new ideas, their natural curiosity, that provide exposure to other points of view about science, humanity, and that teach the skill set for discovery, leadership, and excellence are essential. Exhausting as the toddler's why may be, I want my own 3 children to continue in their wonder and curiosity about the world and to develop the confidence and communication skills to join with other hardworking humans to answer their questions. So those of you who are parents, you probably want the same for your children. And maybe even as an adult, you also look at a piece of technology or a natural phenomenon, a computer or a star or a storm that we typically take for granted and wonder why. So I want to say thanks to the CEE and the policymakers and the advocates and the teachers who continue to foster curiosity and achievement through STEM education. Thank you.
We can be proud of our youth and their achievements. It's hard to get any publicity in the media of things going well in education and the excellence of the students. It seems we only hear about the bad. Well, when you attend an RSI, a CEE event, you attend an event where you have wonderful students, alumni who have achieved, and they make this country proud. I also will say, we'd like you to get involved with us if you have not been. You can mentor, you can speak at an RSI, a USABO, at a session with the lyceums, the teacher enrichment program. We need help. And the reason we're able to afford our programs is because a great many of our alumni teach in our programs and help. We also we're just about ready to announce a mentorship program for our young students in the Lyceum program throughout the United States. We're going to start with 15 mentors in the country and hopefully move it up to be a model that can be emulated throughout the country, because most mentorship programs just don't work. Ours will work. So, you know, all of our student programs, our teacher programs, are cost-free. It's because of the goodness of people, of companies, of organizations in this country, that if you're accepted to a CEE program, you don't pay a dime. And we're going to keep that record going, even though sometimes when I'm running around the country, I go, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? And then I meet up with our alums who are the reason we do it. So I want to thank each of you. Look at our website. It's, I think, quite good. We have our people here, our Vice President of Sustainability, the two of them, who will be glad to talk to you about more involvement with the center. And I hope you will attend some other programming for CEE, for a special program that we will be doing. And it is so exciting to give this information to members of Congress about some of the unique things going on in STEM. It's so hard to keep up with. So thank you all. This was our first session for the caucus. We'll be doing more, and next year I can say we're going to be the biggest caucus. All right. My staff, will you just raise your hand so you can see? We have so much help to make this a success. Thank you all. And how about raising the hands of all those representing an embassy that are with us today? All right, please do have something to drink, some cookies, some hors d'oeuvres. Enjoy yourself. And again, thank you all. Good night.